What's... I did 2 sleep reviews yesterday, and hey Hugh, how's it going? Let me know how your BMs were. I need gritty detail. Sorry about that. Alright. Pretty lousy night's sleep, all things considered. There's a couple time jumps here. Yeah. No problem here. Alright. I want to do what I can to make... Again, when you have a bad night's sleep, it's usually more to discuss than have a good night's sleep, because it's no notes. But like, you know, I have a lousy night's sleep has a lot of room for opportunity, so I'm gonna go all in all 6.5 hours is what I clocked in at. So here is my sleep tracking data, saying I got 6 hours 24 minutes of sleep. 11:48 is when I first fell asleep. Now here's the bad part, I got into bed 10:46. So why did it take me an hour? I think I just laid there. No, first I played video games for a little while, and then laid there and realized, yeah, I wasn't falling asleep. Yeah, if I had just... Probably should have just cut out the video games way earlier. But, yeah, 11:48 is when I said sleep started to come on. So, let's see. Yep. Sleep started at 11:48. And, yeah, an hour to fall asleep. That's not great. It never feels great, but yeah, it happens. Alright, so we'll look at, hey, Bearded. Pressure in your ear. Sometimes, mainly because I'm wearing these headphones when I sleep. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. Well, I have the eye mask, the headphones. So no, I don't think I've had any like pressure due to the machine, so I'm not quite sure what that could be. Yeah, I'm kind of stumped. Well, I never claimed to have all the answers. I'm just doing my best to answer from my own experience, but like, yeah, if you still get that, talk to your sleep doctor, or maybe look into talking to an ENT specialist, an ear, nose, and throat specialist. They might have a little bit more insight as to what's going on. All the tubes up here. Alright. So, last night. Yeah, I usually say 6.5 hours is like the bare minimum. Oh boy. Bare minimum amount of sleep I can get and still be functional. I was pretty functional today. Took a little bit of caffeine to get out of bed. Not really. In fact, I'm tapering off. I'm on caffeine-free type Pepsi now, so I've cut out the caffeine starting 5 o'clock on the East Coast. So, weekend or weekday, it's important to try to keep the same bedtime. So tonight, I'm gonna aim to get us to bed at 10:30 again, but this time I'm really gonna mean it. Now, in terms of having to wake up early tomorrow. I don't necessarily have to, but I might not set that late of an alarm. I might set an alarm that's pretty close to my like usual alarm, and that's, I don't know, it's just hopefully going to encourage me to like get to sleep on time. Alright, so getting into bed right before 11, falling asleep an hour later. Here's the disaster. Then there's this whole wake up. I wake up, so I get out of bed around 3. Hey, Lydia, I sleep with headphones on because I've through the live stream I've discovered that noises wake me up. So like passing trains or planes at night, like I would, after like reviewing some of these live streams, I was like, what's that noise right before I woke up? I was like, oh, it was a passing train. Like the trains go by in the night. They're not that far. It's like a few miles away, but I can still hear it, and it's like a sustained sound. So, Chris, any music? I listen to a YouTube playlist of reviews of Star Trek: Next Generation, so that's sort of my. Hey, Lewis, thanks for the follow. John, I track my sleep with the Apple Watch, and that translates here into the Apple Health app, and just there I get my sleep stages. Apollo and Miso, you think you have sleep apnea, but you wear nose strips. You haven't been to the doctor yet, so you might have. Well, when I knew I snored for the longest time, so I tried nose strips and didn't make much of an impact in my snoring. So it was like, oh, okay. So that should have been my first clue. Hey, geez, Daddy, can't fall asleep with the CPAP. Any advice? Don't put the mask on until you're like really ready to fall asleep, because you don't want to associate insomnia with the mask. So like, wait until you're like so tired that you're about to like zonk out, and just like put the mask on and fall asleep. Like the kind of tired that you fall asleep in the aim position. Just try to get that tired, because the more you associate it with insomnia, then the harder it's going to be. They're Palamiso. I don't know if they're, especially in the US, I don't believe there's ways to buy like machines on Amazon. Maybe with a prescription, but or like, yeah, there might be like a storefront for like doctors and stuff. If you're single, how do you recognize if you have sleep apnea? It's actually pretty easy these days. A lot of sleep trackers have sleep apnea detection. So this, for example, is the Apple Watch's sleep apnea detection. So for me, it's not showing not elevated, meaning no sleep apnea, but that's because I'm treating my sleep apnea. So for a person with undiagnosed, untreated sleep apnea, these breathing disturbances are going to be like spikes of like nights of like high breathing disturbances. It's going to detect a lot of those. So the Apple Watch will give you like a warning within 30 days of detecting those. The Samsung Watch does something similar, maybe like a shorter interval. What's the benefit of getting a CPAP for untreated sleep apnea? Well, if you have sleep apnea and you don't treat it, you're basically rolling the dice with your life, like basically, because every time you go to sleep, there's periods of time where you're not breathing. So the more you, and that's sort of like how I look at my life before my diagnosis. Is I was like, I'll go to sleep, I'll wake up feeling worse. I'm like, why isn't sleep working? And it took for a while to like realize that sleep was part of the problem. Sleep apnea was the problem. Yeah, so Schmid, the breathing disturbances, it detects like increases in heart rate, like gasping for air, any signs of like respiratory distress, it's gonna like use the microphone and the accelerometer and detect that. Dude, I do a sleep study. I did 2 sleep studies, both in lab, and I work a remote 9 to 5 ish. No, I have not tried a mandibular extender. Is this real life? It says 10 days with your air sense 11 and your O2 is dropping to the 88s. I don't think I had. Yeah, I don't have reliable blood oxygen data, unfortunately, from my machine or my watch. So, Alex, what do I use to track sleep? The Apple Watch. Schmidt, does outside noise infused with it like that? Oh boy, that's for me. I found the hiss of the machine a little bit distracting, so I started sleeping with noise canceling headphones, and that's really been a game changer. So it's hard for me to fall asleep, without it these days. So, what does it rhyme with? I don't know what you're saying. All right. Cool. So, all right, real quick, I'm just gonna march on with last night's sleep. Again, I fell asleep right before midnight. That's not great considering I got into bed around 11. So let's take a look. No, Ham West, I did not see your question. Ask it again. It might have suppressed it. The chat is weird sometimes. If it like auto moderates, like I have like no moderation tools in front of me. I literally this is what my actually. Okay, any thoughts of using CPAP on plane rides? Yes, I've done that. I've flown from the east coast of US to London, and I it was an overnight flight, so I plugged it in between the seats, tried to sleep with it on. Only got a couple hours of sleep. It's tough to sleep on airplanes to begin with, so I lost a night's sleep that. Period comma says you've had OSA for several years. One frustration was gonna miss. I think you've done permanent damage. I mean, sleep apnea. It's hard to say. I mean, it nothing's like. I'm sure there's some tangible like measurements about like what kind of damage is done, but to be honest, I don't know. I wasn't diagnosed until like my 30s, so probably lived a couple decades with undiagnosed. So who knows how much damage it did? And I don't know. I don't like to dwell on that question. All I can do is just move forward. Ham West. So tonsil removal. No, I have not considered tonsil surgery. In fact, there was a period in my 20s where I was like, "Hey, I keep getting tonsillitis. I asked my doctor, can I get my tonsils out?" And they're like, "Hey, Landry, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you." All right, let me just these wireframes out of here. All right, so Ham West. Right now I'm not considering any surgery because I'm actually adapting pretty well to sleep apnea treatment. So that's sort of my state right now. I mean, like, who knows what the future will hold? Hopefully something better. I'm thinking like something like the Inspire, but like something you wear like outside your body. I mean, implants are medical miracles, but like seriously, still don't want no knives, no, please don't open me up. all right, so last night, it's funny, like I finished my live last night. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get to bed early tonight. Nope, didn't do it. I'm sure I had a billion reasons, but mainly was playing Pokemon TCG Pocket. Getting too into that game, too competitive in that game. I should like really take breaks from it. Just keep getting tilted. All right, so fell asleep right around midnight, and then 3 hours later I wake up. So let's take a look at that. So 3 hours in, well, so 11:48. Ooh, there's deep sleep at 12:39. Let's jump to that. 12:39. Check it out. So right here, watch this pose. This pose I'm gonna hold for. Whoops, let's try next. Okay, I'm gonna hold this pose for half an hour. So I probably won't move from this pose for like, yeah, look at that. Thinking man's pose. I'm just doing that. Alright, so it's like 104? 114 before I move again. Boom. Yep. And go tossing and turning again. Alright, so that's basically what the Apple Watch detects. It just gauges your sleep stages based on your motion. According to this, I had some REM sleep at 1:23. Look at that. Oh, that was right there. And my eye mask is down, so you won't be able to see my eyes anyway. Alright. Hey, Technoid type. Why are the machines expensive? U.S. healthcare. And why do doctors have to give you prescription? U.S. healthcare. The answer is U.S. healthcare. And the question is, why is everything terrible? The U.S. health insurance system. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. I wish it was better, but what am I gonna do? I'm just a guy on the internet. All right, all right. So 3:09, I woke up at 3:09. I'm actually curious what, if anything, woke me up. So I'm gonna go right up to my wake up. So here I am tossing and turning. Alright, so the eye mask is off, so maybe the light? I don't know, maybe I was disturbed by light? I mean, I am breaking a couple rules of, two of the big rules of sleep hygiene. Number one, don't sleep with your phone in bed because you'll be tempted to use it. Number two, don't sleep with the lights on. Now, the lights are actually pretty dim. They're as dim as I can get them without them, like 10% brightness when I put the slider on. But the phones are like basically recording at a high exposure, so especially the top phones, champ. This one over here, the bottom pictures from an iPad. That's, it's doing its best. All right, so why did I wake up here? I'm gonna go play some of this. Might play some of this audio. Audio. Alright, so I'm just curious why I woke up. Now there's some noises now. I've learned my lesson to listen to the noises right before I wake up, because hey dude, you don't have sleep apnea, but you feel like a sleep apnea machine make you sleep good? Well, maybe. I mean, hey, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you how to spend your money, but if you want better sleep, definitely talk to your doctor, and maybe they'll refer you to a sleep specialist. But you don't necessarily have to have sleep apnea or a sleep disorder to try to aim for better sleep. Alright, so what? I'm gonna mute this. Alright, so I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna pause the music real quick. So I listened to a few noises right before I woke up now. Alright. Alright. Boost the volume. This is gonna be a mistake. It's a bit rhythmic. So this is definitely the hiss of the machine. It's like inhale, exhale. Alright, what happens here? Okay, I know so I move, rub my eyes. Does this wake me up? What wakes me up? So something here wakes me up. Yeah, there's some more, I can see more sound coming up on the waveform. Seems curious. Yeah, and yes. Oh, Lucifer. Yeah, that's a good call out. I do sleep with the lights on because I do live streaming my sleep apnea treatment for the last 3 years. Figured I'd be used to it by now, but like there's still some nights. Yeah, it's possible. That's a real. That's a Yeah, night vision cameras. I've tried them. They're like, yeah, they're affordable for a reason. They're really crappy. So it's like quality. I mean, let's say took a big deep inhale there. $100. What? I bought one like 2 or 3 years ago. Barely. Yeah, it advertises like maybe it was 4K, maybe it was like 2.2K. Either way, do mouth guards help? Possibly. You talk to your sleep doctor or your dentist might be able to look into for you. How long have I had it? Decades, but I've been properly diagnosed 6 years ago. Can I recommend any mouth guards? No, unfortunately, I can't. It's Soma. You're always amazed at my headgear setup. Simple ones? What do you mean simple ones? Alright, so mainly just regular breathe. Like, it's sort of. So there's a lot of noise coming up here. Is sleep apnea genetic or can be developed throughout life? Maybe and maybe. I believe it's yes, probably, and probably and probably. All right. Was that me farting or was that the? Yes, I sleep with the lights on for the live stream. Okay, was this me farting or is it the sound of the mask? Like, yeah, it's the mask. Okay. I've caught myself farting on camera before. Hey, good goblin. Good to see you. Yes, fellow sea pepper. I'm actually on BiPAP. No brawl. Well, say you always get red marks from the mask. How do you deal with it? Just make sure you're not over tightening. You just want it to be as secure as possible. Like the only thing I usually get in the morning is like little red imprints where the straps are not even red. They're just like imprints, and that eventually just goes away. All right, so I'm trying to figure out what woke me up. So my breathing here is sort of like, yeah. So maybe I notice. Oh yeah, a lot of CPAP power users mention Oscar, and I did not plug my SD card in last night for Oscar, so unfortunately I don't have the Oscar data here. So must it be something? It's got to be that hiss because something is wrong here. Why is it hissing? I, to be honest, it's got to be that sound that's woken me up. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it sounds like a slight leak, but like, how if I can tell? I mean, just looking at it, like, I can't even tell what or why, but it definitely sounds like a leak because it's like, hmm, up, yeah, and then it kind of like starts waking me up. All right, so that's me taking it off, and you see the time jump 4:04. So when I get back into bed, and oh, I forget to put on my chin strap when I go back to sleep. That's strange. Doesn't leak so much when you're on your back. Yeah, so instinct. Well, for some reason, I decided to sleep on my side. So whatever that did, it eventually just caused me to wake up. So that's weird. Well, one thing I noticed when I was editing the footage. Here, I'll put the music back on. It's uncomfortable silences. Was that I usually have this chin strap on, and when I after let's wake up at 3:09, and I fall back to sleep around 4:42. So there, like half an hour to fall asleep here. Have I ever tried nose pads and chin strap? No. No. I've always been given the full face mask, so I haven't gotten the option for like nasal masks. Alright, so yeah, the chin strap's right there. It's literally right in arm's reach. Here. It's right there. It's like I was about to put it on and I just got distracted by my phone. Yep, pull the eye mask down, and 42 is when I fell asleep. So, well, 48 apparently. Okay, there. Now I'm asleep. But alright, so let's see if the chin. Well, the My Air app said I didn't have any significant leaks last night, so. Evan, what is sleep apnea? So, sleep apnea is a sleep disorder which causes the airway to collapse at night. So, a partially closed airway basically causes a snoring sound, like that's the sound of snoring. So, most people with sleep apnea will have snoring as a symptom, but the most dangerous symptom is when the breathing stops, and that's called an apnea. And the more often the breathing stops at night, that's how severe the sleep apnea is. To give you an idea, my breathing would stop 70 times per hour, 70. So that's more than once a minute. My breathing would stop. So I had severe sleep apnea. Chris 5 President, your sleeps came in as 9, mild. Should you get the machine? Up to you, I think. I mean, someone else in chat was like, they felt like they didn't have sleep apnea and just wanted a machine just for the fun of it. I'm like, really? But yeah, whatever your sleep doctor recommends or offers you, I guess. If they're saying now there's ways to address, yeah, exactly, giggly goblin. There's ways to address, like sleeping on your side, for example, can help with sleep apnea, especially if it's mild. If you're like single digits teetering on double digits, then maybe, I don't know. It's your call. I think discuss it with your sleep doctor and decide what's best. But you know, I'm just telling my perspective. I had severe sleep apnea. Mine was 70. So yeah, no problem, Chris. Alright, so fell back to sleep around 4:42. Oh, get some deep sleep at 5:53. That's the one thing, one benefit about segmenting your sleep that badly is, hey, Kingdom Marco, you're supposed to take the test for sleep apnea. Isn't it awkward at first? No, it's just like sleeping in a hotel room, except someone's watching you. Hey, people watch me sleep all the time. Well, single digits people. Gingerbread Dad, you had 80 plus severe sleep apnea for a year, life changing. Oh, you've been on CPAP for. Oh, congratulations. Good. Hope you had a good year of better sleep, and hope better sleep to, even more better sleep to come. Yeah, glad you're dealing with that. Health checkpoint. 200 events per hour. Yeesh. Oof. That is, you're taking the crown tonight for like highest AHI I've heard. Oh boy. Oh, how do I sleep like this? I'm asleep. How do you get checked? So the most common symptom of sleep apnea is snoring. So people who snore, you might. Hey, Keck, thank you for the follow. Snoring, yeah, might be one of the warning signs, but it's not like a go get tested type warning sign. What you really want to look at for is like breathing disturbances. How long does it take us to sleep? For me, like, well, last night was an anomaly. It took me an hour to fall asleep, but like, yeah, that was just a disaster. Okay, so two, yeah. Cool. All right, straps can be annoying loose. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you gotta fiddle with the straps for a while. Cody, is there a certain doctor see? You should, yeah, just go through your primary care, your general practitioner, that's what we call it, and let them know, and then they maybe will write you a referral to a sleep specialist. I don't know if you can take any shortcuts, like asking us, like contacting a sleep specialist directly, and like, again, maybe it's worth a shot, but again, U.S. health insurance going rogue is always you always end up paying. Yeah, no problem. Alright, so what was I gonna look at? 553, deep sleep. Oh, yeah, that was the one thing about segmenting my sleep, is that I got deep sleep again in the last half of the night. So people always ask me how to get more deep sleep, and I'm like, well, deep sleep kind of happens towards the beginning of the night. So if you have two beginnings of your night, then you get more deep sleep, right? That's not a ringing endorsement for like segmenting your sleep, but look at the percentages. Like 10% REM, 53% core or light sleep, and 18% deep sleep. Nifi, any recommendation of stop air leaking out of the mask? When you get into bed, run the mask fit check. So here's my routine getting into bed. So basically, I'm wiping up the mask. All right, and I put the mask on, check the straps and everything, and I'm running it in fit mode, meaning it's blowing moderate pressure, so you can get an idea if there's any leaks anywhere. It'll give you, if the ResMed interface, it will give you like a sad face or red sad face if there's leaks. You're looking for the green smiley face. So you can hear me like adjusting the straps. And then once that's good, then don't touch it and go to sleep like that. Yeah, so definitely run the mask fit. If if stuff happens at night, you just kind of have to like try to compensate for that. For me, I've added extra layers like a chin strap, which I didn't put on for the second half of my sleep, but let's see if that caused anything. I don't think it really caused any issues. Usually I'll have the chin strap was added on for me to avoid like a leak from. You see how my mouth is like, my bottom lip is like right on the cusp of the bottom of the mask. Hey, you can customize the mask look. You need one to look like Bane. That's an idea for a Halloween costume, maybe. Memi. I will think about that for next Halloween. Oh, you replaced the motor on your AirSense 10. Works like a dream. Awesome. I have taken up part of the air sense time myself just to give it a little deep cleaning, but like, I'm glad you're able to do a little right to repair. Cool. Oh, health checkpoint. So what was your AHI? 40. Yeah, I mean, still pretty high. Cool. All right, Nefi, you use a full face mask? Yeah, so am I. So I mean, this is like the lowest profile full face mask. Basically, cups under the nose and covers his mouth. And yeah, I added the chin strap because, like, you see how close my bottom lip is to the edge of that mask. And, like, if I open my jaw any wider, like, there's a good chance my bottom lip will slip out. AJR, you woke up recently at 2 a.m. with like, whoa, zero ability to breathe for like 5 seconds. That sounds pretty scary. That you may want to talk to your doctor about that, because that might be a sign of sleep apnea. Now, snoring is the most common symptom, but not everyone who snores has sleep apnea. Let's be clear about that. For me, snoring was the only symptom. I mean, I also had daytime fatigue, which I didn't put 1 2 together. My friends, basically, whenever we shared a hotel room, they would like tell me, like, dude, you snore, and also you stop breathing. And like, really? Yeah, I didn't believe them for the longest time, and then one of my friends had it on good authority because his roommate had sleep apnea, so he knew what it sounded like. So basically, his insistence that I had sleep apnea was basically what caused me to go get diagnosed. I wish I could say I went willingly. I went kicking and screaming. Yeah. Oh yeah, so when you visit people now, what's great about sleep tracking devices these days is that they can actually detect the signs of sleep apnea and give you a warning. So, for example, the Apple Watch can give you warnings if you might have sleep apnea. This is what treated sleep apnea looks like. But if you find people on like the sleep apnea subreddit will post they'd be off the charts. If they have elevated breathing disturbances, that's a warning sign for sleep apnea. So, yeah, it's easier these days because there's like what do you call it? Like, smart devices. Like the Apple Watch, Samsung Watch, Oura Ring. Hey, Steve, thank you for the follow. Any product on Amazon work for what sleep tracking? Sure. Like there's all different types of sleep trackers. I've tried, well, mainly the Apple Watch and this other one. Steve, so what can you do with your snoring? So snoring might just be snoring, but if you have any signs of respiratory distress, breathing disturbances, like if you ever remember waking up gasping for air, that's a red flag for sleep apnea. If people you sleep nearby you say, hey, it sounds like you're like holding your breath or you're choking at night, that's a kind of a warning sign. Insomnia is one of those things too. I mean, for me, I would randomly wake up and I wouldn't remember what woke me up, and now I mean, kind of the origin story of this, basically being able to like troubleshoot my sleep. Well, this was 3 years into my sleep apnea diagnosis anyway, but like a lot of the insights and a lot of like the little fixes I put together have become from me live streaming and looking over the footage. Yeah, JFro. I mean, if you're diagnosed with sleep apnea, you gotta just treat it. I mean, there's no like cure all. There's no like, oh yeah, if you just try this simple thing, you'll. I mean, obviously there's different severities of sleep apnea. So if you have like mild or slight sleep apnea, you might be able to like, remedy it with like a side sleeping pillow. So there's pillows that are designed for like side sleeping. I think someone recommended one the other one live, and then they're like, "Oh, great! I'll look it up." And then it's like, "Oh, it's like $300 Medline sleep pillow." Yeah, I think that was the one. Medline, yeah, it's like some Medline. It's an expensive. What? $50? No, I swear the one. No, it's a Medline. Yeah, there's. Yeesh. Yeah, there's like. Whoa, yeah, this site is all sorts of crazy here. Yeah, this is like one of the. It's like a whole pillow system. You stick your arm underneath. Ovo, do I use my machine when I take a nap? Yep, definitely. I've taken naps without it, and it is no fun. Talk a lot. You've been using your CPAP for 3-ish years, and you just can't sleep without it. Yeah, it's basically me. I'm 6 years in, so I'm on BiPAP now. I got a machine upgrade. Or an exhale snoring keeping up all night. Yeah, I mean, again, snoring is not automatically sleep apnea, but snoring is the most common symptom of sleep apnea. So do with that information what you want, but like definitely, obviously, it's up to a doctor or sleep lab to diagnose it properly. Oh, yeah, your adenoids are large. Yeah, if your tonsils or adenoids or like if something's enlarged and might be dealt with surgery, it's certainly an option. Yeah, Hope you have a path forward, Chocolate, and best of luck to you. All right. So 6.5 hours is what I got last night. Pretty lousy for a weekday, and I usually look forward to the weekend because you get to make up for it, because it's like what, this is last Friday night and Saturday morning like I slept in. I'm tempted to sleep in tomorrow, but I thought I do have stuff to do. Yeah, that's the weekend paradox. It's like, oh, you have time off to do all the stuff you didn't have time to do during the weekday. All right, so this was last night's sleep. The 6.5 hours, just break in the middle, like an hour and a half. Ugh. And this is how it compares to the rest of the week. Yeah, it was that the going to sleep time and waking up time was similar. It was just that interval. This interval was much larger. Oof. Let's see, was it Monday night? That was a complete disaster. I'm averaging 7.5 hours. I mean, a lot of that is probably this sleeping in last Friday night, Saturday morning. So, however I sleep tonight, I think is going to define my 7-day average. I'm gonna aim to get at least 8.5. If I don't, let's say if I wake up and then I wake up for an hour like I did last night, I'll try. Hey, Will, you wake up only once or twice a night? 23? What were you just... I mean, I wake up... You see all these gaps here? That's me waking up at least once a night. That's even with sleep apnea treatment. I mean, I haven't figured out the secret to like sleeping straight through the night. But people with undiagnosed sleep apnea, they'll wake up for random reasons. one of the reasons I started live streaming my sleep was basically to try to like figure out what woke me up, certain cases, and a lot of the footage actually came handy. I added noise canceling headphones because I figured out noises woke me up. I added chin strap because I figured out my bottom lip would slip out of my mask and cause a leak. Well, you had your tonsils removed and your ooh. Oh my, deviated septum. Yeah. Yeah. I've never experienced deviated septum, but can't be any fun. Ooh, slime, you've been sleeping for 4 hours every night for the past 2 weeks? Ugh. I hope you're doing your best. I mean, sometimes, yeah. I've been where you are. I like sleep consistency. It's hard sometimes. Work and social schedules are usually what dictated it. I mean, work schedule basically was what dictates this hard cutout, and social schedules would affect like, what time I get to sleep. I have no social life, so I get to bed 10 o'clock every night. Cool. Alright, so what am I going to do different tonight? Well, have I ever had horrible nightmares? Yeah. Don't really want to go into them. Well, how did I find out that I have indicators for sleep apnea? Sleep study or an indicators? All I had to go off of was snoring, and my friends eyewitnessing me like stopping breathing at night. And it took them convincing me, and I was really stubborn. Pantheon tips for adjusting to a sleep apnea mask. Sleep mask. Give it time. If one mask doesn't quite work, talk to your sleep doctor. See if you can try a different one. You're not stuck with the mask that you're given when you're diagnosed. So, and yeah, just give it time. Yeah, I mean, your body's gonna your hands are gonna go like class clawing at it. So you may also want to like add extra support. So like, that's something I've done. I added this chin strap, that black chin strap there. That's some extra support. All right, it's the weekend. Look at me. Nothing to do on a Friday night. I should be happy about that. It means I can get some sleep. But yeah, if I had stuff to do, I don't know. Okay, so what time am I getting up tomorrow? Depends. Hopefully I'll be able to like get a decent night's sleep. Again, 7.5 hours has been my 7-day running average. I'd like that to be 8.5 hours, but I think my bedtime has been shaky lately. I haven't been able to get like the earliest I've gotten to bed is like when you like that like 10:30, 10:40. And then really the sleeping in on last Saturday night was really carrying this past 7 days. So what I do tonight is gonna really determine. Hey, so you have a full face mask? Ooh. So if you get claustrophobic or you're anxious about the mask, try not putting the mask on until you're like really ready to fall asleep. I mean that's a lot. Again, might be easier said than done, because certainly I'm like the poster boy for insomnia. Like I get into bed at like 10:46 and I don't fall asleep until like right before midnight. So like an hour insomnia. So yeah, you want to minimize the amount of time. You definitely don't want to associate mask with insomnia or anxiety or claustrophobia. Unfortunately, it's you kind of have to thread that needle. Like you'd be tired enough to fall asleep, as well as you know, you have to be um, what's it? You have to be present enough to put the mask on and check your straps and everything. So yeah, you don't want to be like too tired that you'll just fall asleep without the mask, or you want to be like too awake that you're like ugh, and you're filling with the mask. So yeah, it's an adjustment period. Honestly, it took me years to. I mean, I latched on to CPAP treatment pretty quickly, but it took me like years to like hit a stride where I can fall asleep like 20-30 minutes. Now last night when it took me like an hour to fall asleep, that I mean that's usually when I know I have a problem or I had a bad night. So usually at the half hour mark I will like, I think I must, yeah, I think, yeah, there's a time jump right there. Yeah, like there's a time jump right in the beginning of the stream. So 20, yeah, there's a 10-minute time jump right here. So half hour in, I realized I wasn't getting sleep, so I got up, tried to relax, get back in, tried another half hour, and then I fell asleep. Sloop, you're pretty much used to yours at that point, but mine just nose mask. Yeah, yeah. Again, the nasal masks are. I have zero experience with nasal masks. Do I ever have insane congestion, dry mouth, drool with the mask? Once in a while, like I had some really early experiences, like just getting zonked out and waking up and just like puddle of drool in the mask. I don't have those nights anymore. I think more dry mouth than drool. Maybe that's a blessing. All right. But yeah, take practice. Yeah, keep trying. Yeah. And if anything, don't give up on it because a lot of people do. A lot of people do give up on it and just like say sleep apnea. Go ahead and do your thing. I'm like, oh, don't do it. Don't give up like that. Well, sad to say, but yeah, some people they'll find other ways to deal with their sleep apnea. Like one of my relatives got diagnosed with like mild sleep apnea, and then after a while they kind of didn't have much. Yeah, again, and lifestyle changes, weight loss sometimes can address sleep apnea, but like me, I've yo-yoed my weight a lot, so I don't think I've ever gotten rid of my sleep apnea. Ooh, I did not even remember the hearing about Carrie Fisher and the sleep apnea. I didn't realize she was in the CPAP club. Sorry to hear that. Have I ever burped? No. I don't know what you mean by that, America, but that's a puzzle. A riddle. If you look at my pin videos, I have some interesting ones. I did have a pin video where I like had the hiccups for like half an hour. I think that was like a medication related thing. I had like really bad hiccups. Alex, you've been trying to use CPAP. Congestion, nasal pressure is always horrible. And I'm guessing you have a. You tried both the nasal and the full face mask? Whew, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, you tried both styles of mask. I mean, honestly, which one felt better to you? I mean, honestly, I have zero experience with nasal masks, and if people ask me for advice about nasal masks, I'm like, But the full face masks, if you're worried about like the dry mouth and drool situation, yeah. Yeah, I mean, a few months. But honestly, it took me maybe a few years to get a good stride going. So, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good piece of advice, Sloop. The nasal pillow. I guess that's the third alternative. It's technically, yeah. I always keep forgetting that N and P and F, or at least the ResMed designations. F for full face mask, N for nasal mask, and P for pillows. Yeah. Cool. Alright, so I feel like most stuff to talk about. I just want to go to bed tonight. I'm not tired yet. Come on, caffeine-free Diet Pepsi, do your thing. I swear, it says caffeine-free right there. Not a sponsor. Yeah, I don't remember the last caffeine I had. I think it was just the last caffeine I had was at lunch. So hopefully it's not the caffeine. So what causes sleep apnea? I mean, it's a sleep disorder. You might just have it. There's a possible genetic component to it. Some people weight gain can either bring it upon or exacerbate it, but it's already there. And can you make it go away? There's surgical options, lifestyle changes, weight loss, things like that can possibly make sleep apnea less severe or go away. Alan, you're overweight, and that's why you have it? I mean, that's one of the things my primary care doctor said. They measured my neck circumference and they're like, yeah, you're susceptible. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I got fat neck, of course. Alright. Thank you all for the questions about sleep apnea. Yeah, Uli, you're welcome. Alright, so thank you so much for joining me. Oh, Alan, your son has sleep apnea. Wow, extreme apnea. Wow. Tonsils are coming out. Yeah. Best of luck with that. Hopefully that's a quick recovery. Again, oh. Worry about that. Yeah. It was in my 20s when I kept getting tonsillitis, and I was like, I asked my doctor, like, can I get these out? And they're like, nah, no reason to. Like, that if he had said yes, then maybe I would have like gotten rid of some of the sleep apnea, conditions for having sleep apnea. But basically my doctors, well, I was so unaware of it. I kind of knew what it was in my 20s, but like not enough to put one and two together. How did I feel after using CPAP for the first time? It was like amazing. It was like the first time it was like getting sleep for the first time ever. Yeah, so you going for a study in a couple of weeks? Well, good luck with that. Hope you get some answers as well as a path to better sleep. LMB. Cool. Alright, folks, if you're just joining me, I'm basically my TikTok live is about me live streaming my sleep apnea treatment. That's what you're seeing playing back behind me right now. Last night was kind of a disaster. Oh, have I tried wedge pillows? Yes. In fact, there's a bunch of wedge pillows right behind the Baby Yoda thing. If you can't tell what I'm building like a gigantic Snorlax. Hey, LMB, thank you for the follow. I'm building a Snorlax, like the life-size Snorlax pillow, but like the first few steps have been like it looks like a deflated Snorlax, and it's just eating a big wedge of cheese. That's what it looks like. I have like so much stuffing ready to get in there, but I have to like put it in like pillowcases so I can make his arms and his legs, and then gotta build put wedge pillows on top of wedge pillows to create his body. yeah, it's gonna be a long-term project. I mean, basically, I just tucked it there. Yeah. Oh, and have I tried wedge pillows? Seriously, yes. Actually, last time I tried wedge pillows, basically, if you look at how I sleep, I usually tend to always end up lying flat. So even though I'm like, I use a buckwheat pillow, but whenever I use the wedge pillow, I always wind up like turning 90 degrees, so that way I'm like flat again, or like, yeah. Yeah, that's your temporary solution. I mean, yeah, it's always worth a shot. You know, side sleeping or tilted sleeping is one of the ways to reduce apnea events. Cool. Did sleep apnea cause health issues? I could tell you a lot of them. I had chronic headaches in my 20s that were unexplained, and once I started treating my sleep apnea, they went away. Funny how that works. And I told my doctors about it, like, hey, chronic headaches all the time. Like, let's see, we check you for this, check you for this. I'm like, well, we don't know what's causing your chronic headaches. I'm like, okay, bye. Yeah. Yeah, that's why sleep apnea awareness is so important, because, like, I mean, I knew I snored, but, like, I kind of knew what sleep apnea was, and oh boy. Your doctor can't figure out why you have high blood pressure and fatigue because of sleep apnea. Hey, if that's possibly it, then yeah. You said, oh yeah, you said going for your sleep study in a couple of weeks. Yeah, it's, if anything, you'll have answers. Again, you don't wish yourself to have a sleep apnea diagnosis, but at least I might explain a few things and also give you a path forward. I mean, there's some people who go into sleep labs like convinced they have sleep apnea, and then they get like negative for sleep apnea. I'm like, for me, I went in my sleep lab like I basically went in denial, but like once I got my results, it was like there was no sense denying anymore. Do I use sleep? This is a BiPAP actually. Yeah, that's every night. Yeah, without fail so far. So I think I've got a pretty good streak going. How do I deal with the dry air? Basically, I fill the tank with water, distilled water, and that humidifies the air. BiPAP works differently from CPAP because it's giving two levels of pressure. One pressure on the inhale and one pressure on the exhale. Actually, it's pretty demonstrably, I can show you, you could hear how it works here. I'm gonna pause the music real quick and turn this up again. You hear the difference between, you'll hear that basically it's toggling between the inhale and the exhale pressure. So it's like the pressure go up, there's like inhale pressure and exhale pressure. So the what we call it, the exhale pressure is lower, so that way it's easier to exhale. That's a common sensation with people who are on CPAP. It's like they're trying to exhale into like a wind tunnel. You're like trying to like blow into like something that's blowing back at you. Yeah. I'll be best of luck with everything. All right. Yeah, and BiPAP basically works by alternating. So when you're inhaling, it gives you high pressure. When you're exhaling, it gives you a little bit lower pressure. McLovin, is mouth taping safe? I'm not the best person to ask this. I have never tried mouth taping. I can't endorse it. It is, especially for people who have sleep apnea. But like, see how my sleep apnea treatment works? If I mouth tape, that would cut off like more than half my air supply. So it's definitely not. Now, for people who without sleep apnea who want to try to get better sleep, maybe, again, people swear by it, and far it's not my high horse to like say everyone with mouth tapes is like being silly. No, some people might get benefit out of it. But if you have sleep apnea and you know you need a machine, don't add mouth taping to the mix. Unless you talk over your sleep doctor, and I have a hard time thinking a sleep doctor will sign off on mouth taping. Please don't mouth tape. Yep. Cool. All right. So I've been live for just over an hour. All right, folks. I'm gonna wrap up. I'll introduce myself one last time. Been sleep apnea vlogger. I live stream my sleep apnea treatment every night. You can check out my channel. The link to it is in my TikTok bio. There's a couple of pinned videos. One is what happens when I don't treat my sleep apnea. Basically, it's one time when I took the mask off. I snored for like 2 or 3 hours. There's another video where I had sleep paralysis, and then there's a third video where I'm setting up the Nintendo Alarmo as my little gimmick alarm clock. Oh yeah, and also stream Pokemon Sleep. That's the sleep tracking game from the fun folks at the Pokemon Company. How do you sleep when you have a bad stuffy nose? I mean, I just breathe through my mouth. Yeah, I had the flu like a couple months ago, and yeah, I just kept the treatment going. Yeah, Pokemon Sleep has been pretty much been my North Star for the last little while. This little Snorlax. Can't breathe when you have the nasal mask. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do there. I have the least experience with nasal masks, unfortunately, J-Dub. So yeah, I'll talk to your sleep doctor or maybe get some advice in there. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, sorry I can't give you any like specific advice there. Again, I'm not a doctor or anything. I'm just been someone who's been treating my sleep apnea for the last 6 years. So, alrighty, folks. Once again, if you want to check out my channel, the link is in my bio. I stream Pokemon Sleep as well, which I gotta give. Oh shoot! I gotta feed Snorlax lunch. I have less than a minute to feed Snorlax's lunch before he rolls over to the dinner menu. That sentence makes sense, I swear. Okay, I'm gonna cook my big salad. And there's the cooking animation. Come on, gotta eat lunch before 6 o'clock. That way I can cook dinner. So yeah, usually I save cooking dinner for Snorlax on stream. So yeah, if you check me out on the purple streaming app, you'll see my channel. And what's the best, easiest way to clean your tubes? Well, the mask I clean with these little wipes. I have a tube of wipes on hand. The tubes and stuff, put them in like a sink or a big pot of water, warm water, vinegar, and a drop of dish soap. Let it soak in there for a little bit, and then scrub out any like stuff. The tubes, if you see anything, you might have to get like one of those little pipe cleaners, but usually a good soak, and just take the hose out, hang it over to your like shower head, and let it dry out, and let everything else air out. If you do it early enough in the day, it should be dry by the time you're ready to go to bed. Alrighty. Folks, I'm just gonna call that a live. Oh yeah, you're welcome. Alright, I'm just gonna keep playing Pokemon. Yep, just tap playing Pokemon all day long. Okay. Alright folks, have a good one. Hopefully have a good night's sleep tonight. If I wake up early enough to do a sleep review tomorrow morning, I'll do it then. Otherwise, I might do it tomorrow night. Or I might, I don't know, like yesterday I reviewed 2 nights of sleep. Like, I had a backlog. Hey Jai, thanks for the follow. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know exactly when I'm waking up tomorrow. I might have stuff to do. Oh, the weekend paradox. Handsome devil. How do you know what number to have it on? I mean, pressure-wise? That's set by your doctor. What's a normal AHI? I believe like single digit, like 1 to 5 is like normal, like no sleep apnea. Well, it's like 5 to like 10 is like mild light sleep apnea, and then like everything above is just severe. So yeah, I should fact check myself real quick. What AHI is sleep apnea levels? All right. AHI greater than 30 is severe. 15 to 30 is moderate, and mild is between 5 and 15. So yeah, if you're like 0 to 5 on AHI, you have basically no sleep apnea. If you're 5 to 15, you're like mild. 15 to 30 is moderate. What's moderate? And then 30 and up is severe. So I had 70, so I was double severe. Alright, folks. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for my 3.2k hearts. Appreciate you all. Thank you, my new followers. Alright. Thanks you all so much for joining. I'm gonna call it a live. Oh, handsome devil. Thank you for the follow. Modifiable risk factors. I don't know what that means, but that sounds compelling. Javier, I have the Air Curve 10. It's the ResMed BiPAP version. Cool. All right. Thank you for the last minute questions. I am going to go ahead and end live now. All right, folks. Why do I have sleep apnea? Because my dad gave it to me, probably? I don't know. That's probably a good answer, right? All right, folks. On that morbid note, yeah, just breathe, bro. Yeah. I'll get right on that. You tell your subconscious to like do stuff too. You can get so much done at night if you realize if you just at night you can get up and start reading, exercising. You can do so many things when you're asleep. You don't even realize it. I'm being sarcastic because people just breathe when they're like. All right. On that note, have a good one. Peace out, y'all. See ya.